Short-term rentals in San Diego City. This has become an explosive issue. You have landlords or investors that are saying, no, it's my home, I should be able to rent it out as often as I want, I'm the owner, you can't tell me what to do. And then you have disgruntled homeowners that are within these, let's just say, suburban neighborhoods, and maybe you have one bad apple or just partier after partier after partier, these short interim occupancies that make a lot of noise. They ruin the experience for the homeowners that are living adjacent or next door, and they say, you know, this isn't why I bought into this neighborhood in the first place. So I see both sides. It's definitely an explosive issue. We're going to be covering some of the recent updates that were announced. So all the way back in February, let's say March of 2021, this was announced that there's going to be a lottery system, and but they didn't really tell us too much as to how it was going to go down, how it was going to work, or how it was going to be policed. And just a few months ago, in August of 2021, we got a handful of new updates. So that's what I'm going to go through today. All right, so first things first, we also have a new acronym. So instead of STR, short-term rental, it's now STRO, and that's short-term residential occupancy. So that's the new term that it's being coined as an STRO, short-term residential occupancy. So back in February, 2/23, and then 2 months later, 4/6, the city council, they signed and approved these regulations, and the mayor even signed an ordinance which can be viewed online on sandiego.gov on the city's website. Another important thing to mention, this is just for San Diego City, not San Diego County. So there's 19 municipalities in the county of San Diego. So this lottery system, these licenses that will be required, this is just for San Diego City. It's very important to note. Now, on to the regulations. So you will need a license to operate an STRO. They are going to have some sort of tracking software system that haven't really gone into detail yet as to how that's going to work, but it is going to be managed. And there is going to be a limit to just one license per owner. And there's going to be 4 different tiers that I'm going to go into next. And so you have to designate ahead of time which tier you're interested in applying for your license. So tier number 1 is considered part-time. And this is if the owner or the permanent resident rents out to an STRO for 20 days or less. That's for the entire year. So this is part-time. And this does not matter if the owner or the permanent resident is on site or not. They do not have to be on the premises. So tier number 2 is referred to as home sharing. So this is if you are renting out the property for over 20 days for the entire year, and the owner or the permanent resident live on site. Now, the owner or the permanent resident can be absent, but for only up to 90 days. That's absent during the short-term rental residential occupancy stay. So you can be away from the property for up to 90 days for the entire calendar year, but then after that, either they have to be on site. So that means you're sharing, home sharing, a room or multiple rooms. And this also applies for a small multifamily. They specifically mentioned duplex. They didn't say triplex or quad, so that is yet to be seen. And then this also, the same rules apply for an accessory dwelling unit if that's on site as well. And so tier number 3 and tier number 4 are both considered whole house. So a whole house rental. This is where the owner or the permanent resident does not need to be on site, and it's for 20 days or more. But the catch is they're only issuing 1%, they're only issuing a license to 1% of the total housing stock or the total housing units. And this is going to be a number that's put together and factored by the San Diego Association of Governments, that's SANDAG, in their latest report. Now, the last time I looked at this, essentially what it meant to me, and when I broke down the numbers, was that essentially the number of short-term rentals were going to be basically cut in half. When you took 1% of the housing inventory within the city and we broke it down, it was about half were going to be allowed as to what we currently had. So there's more rules, there's more limitations that are being imposed on owners, on landlords, on investors. Again, it's a very heated debate, heated issue. And one other thing I want to mention too is they actually have a preliminary registration survey. If you want to try to get on this list as to how they're going to give out their licenses, they do have a preliminary registration survey. You can go online right on sandiego.gov and just Google or type in short-term residential occupancy, San Diego City, the link will pop right up. It doesn't guarantee you that you're going to get a license, but it make it seem like you have a better opportunity to do so. So they do have the preliminary registration surveys available now, so go check that out. We're still waiting on more information to come out. This is going to go into effect July 1st of this year, 2022, is when you'll be required to have a license. They still haven't gone into detail yet as to exactly how the licenses are going to be issued out, the criteria. There was talk of a lottery system on this most recent update. They didn't mention that. So just keep checking in. On the website, on sandiego.gov, you can fill out your email address and they'll update you as the new updates come out. But this is the latest that I've heard. If you have any more questions about STROs, short-term residential occupancy, feel free to reach out and I will do my best to serve you. Have a great day. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.